agent lineup in Valorant. There hasn't been a lot of opportunity to see him play in pro play, but we're starting to see it more and more. Curious to see what miniature the Sentinel specialist for Nemesis can come up with on Chamber starting out here on the attacking half.
Yeah, I think this might be the first... I think it might be the first time I've seen Chamber played in any sort of competitive environment, so I'm really, really psyched to see what kind of playbooks are going to be building around this.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, Hyperspace Dark, they are rolling with Mikshak on the Omen. Not a super meta pick anymore, although we have seen a little bit of Omen played on Split from time to time. It could be a comfortable pick for controllers, especially on Split. Blind can be really effective trying to clear out some space in middle if you use it effectively. Looks like Nemesis is setting up for a potential A-side hit as Miniature is dropping some utility down in sewers, trying to cover his team's flank, make sure that they can get things started. And they're going to be running into a chamber on the other side of things for Hyperspace Dark and Ty.
Yeah, real interested to see how this works out. It looks like they might just be contesting a little bit of map control. Bape already just satcheling in to try and contest as much map as possible, and it looks like the site should be contested here by Ty. Be able to find one more on Bape before teleporting out. And it looks like that's actually going to force Nemesis off of that A push a little bit as they try to rethink their game plan here a little bit.
Yeah, and the Sage Wall mid prevented Miniature from being able to get across. Puts down a trap. Try to catch any rotators through mid, but he wasn't able to get any advanced positioning to try to support his team in A heaven as they were trying to get sight. Switching over to B now, as they're about to push out the garage.
See Nemesis trying to get in there. Is going to get taken out by Ginny, unfortunately, and that's just going to leave it down in a 3v5. Oh, make it a 3v4, as we do see Darkest find one onto Ginny in return. Now, the spike will be going down by Titty, and it's going to be a 3v4 in favor of Hyperspace Dark, with the retake going to be coming in soon. Darkest able to find one more onto Ty there, as Darkest also falls to Wavy's Sheriff. Things are starting to come down to the wire a little bit, as Mikshake finds one more Potato with two on the frenzy there. 1v1, Potato's going to have to find it out, and he cannot do it as Wavy finds the final kill. Hyperspace find the first pistol round.
Yeah, and Hyperspace Dark, they hold strong, but credit to Nemesis. They were down 3-5 at a certain point there in man count. They were able to bring things back with some aggression into CT after the plant. They sent two players into the defender spawn, and they were able to get a couple frags. Unfortunately, not able to quite get enough in the end, and they do lose the pistol, but they get the plant down, a little extra money with some of the frags that came along with it. Unfortunately, they're not going to have quite enough to feel comfortable with a force here, so they will be saving to buy up next round.
Well, we do see a Sheriff in the hands of Potato, so hopefully, I mean, a small investment, not too much, but hoping to do a little bit of damage, I think, here. And oh, I see the little fake TP coming up from Milkshak to try and psych them out, but of course, a quick clear on that is just going to nullify any of that play to begin with, as the rest of Nemesis start trying to get a little bit of map control here, but are definitely waiting, I think, for Hyperspace to maybe overextend and make some mistakes so they can get a little bit of value out of this classic only buy across the board. Wavy able to find a little bit of damage there on ramp, but not before taking some of his own. Luckily, the regrowth will be there to get him back up, and it looks like the rest of Nemesis is going to try to get into the site. Wavy able to find one Bape, luckily able to get one of his own in return, but Ty should be able to shut that down. Now looking at a 3v4 in favor of Hyperspace, and the spike is going down. Very surprising push coming out from Nemesis, getting onto the site relatively easily. Now Darkest here.
Expecting Darkest here.
Oh my god. Darkest is able to find one, and Bape with one of his own, and this is suddenly looking like a very high value round for Nemesis in a 1v2 Potato. Not in a prime position here, will fall to Ginny. Hyperspace will take that expected second round, but Rome, I think it might have cost him a little more than they wanted.
Well, yeah, only two players surviving the round, and the plant goes down for Nemesis. Overall, a success, but in a 1v2 there, Potato decides to go into heaven, but the spike was not planted for him and wasn't able to get anything there. So, like, maybe were able to take that round. Not quite able to get it over the line, but nevertheless, economic damage is secured. And you can see on the side of Hyperspace Dark, they're going into this bonus round with just 2 Spectres. 3 of their players have to buy, or come into this round with pistols, rather, with one buying a Sheriff and one with a Frenzy. One holding onto the Classic Steel, their Chamber, looking to use the Q ability.
Wavy just trying to get in a little bit aggressive and see if he can find some value at that Spectre. But Potato, very well disciplined, not giving up any of the information there. Meanwhile, we do see Nemesis trying to get a little bit of info over here on B, but I do like how disciplined they're playing here, just waiting for Hyperspace to make a mistake.
Yep. And the dog to try to re-clear mid. Make sure that no one's pushed up. That Wavy might have missed.
It looks like Nemesis is going to be setting up here for a B hit. Just mostly all going through B main here, though. So a lot of this mid control is going to give Hyperspace a lot of the info they need to know how to handle this. Nemesis already starting to come in a little bit, and the Viper's Pit has been dropped by Darkest. Tries to spray down through the pit. Oh, he's able to find one on the tie as the trades come through. Sprays just coming down all over the Viper's Pit. Is going to be a bloodbath as Potato finds one more. Suddenly now it's a 3v1. Make it 0 as Potato finds 3 on the board. And they get out pretty clean.
Yeah, nice job. Really great utilization of the Viper's Pit that, to be honest, Nemesis had pretty early. Nice job by Darkest to be able to get that down. And I really like that play with the shorty, knowing that players are going to be weak in the pit, busts it out and is able to get the kill onto Ty. Really poised to do some damage there, but takes him out just in time. And then as Astra and Potato gets 3 to finish off the round. Now we'll have our first even gun round of the map.
We'll have to see how this goes. It looks like Nemesis is just going to try to go for some early mid contestion here. But of course, the barrier orb is going to slow them down. It's going to give a little bit of info to Hyperspace as well. And Wavy just trying to find a little bit of value with this op. Takes a very aggressive angle, but the Trailblazer is going to push him off of that angle. Very good utility usage from the side of Nemesis. They just try to make their way up mid a little bit more. Meanwhile, Miniature is able to find one frag over on A side, and that's going to be a pretty good pick for them. That's going to take out a lot of their detection utility, and it might cause a little bit of a rotation, actually. Coming out from the side of Hyperspace, we can see everyone's starting to move over just a little bit, Rum.
Yeah, a bit slow of a rotation for Hyperspace, but luckily Nemesis are taking their time as well, so they will have just enough time. There it is. Sadie pushes out, but Vape takes down Sadie, and now they're going to just need to contest with Ginny in Heaven, looking to try to contest ramps. Kind of tries to swing and find a deep player on Nemesis.
Spike is down. It's a 3v5 retake here. Ginny is kind of wise to the angle, but the gadget gives him away, and Potato is able to pick up that kill. And I think that's just going to telegraph to Hyperspace Dark that it is time to save these rifles if they can get away with them here. But looks like Darkest might have an idea of where they're going to be going. He's going to try to take some of these away from him, but they can find this timing. And he's going to be able to get one, but not the second one, unfortunately. And McShack gets out with his life just barely and is going to have to use that from the shadows to try and go for a ninja defuse? Oh, no. That would have been one for the ages, but unfortunately not going to be able to pull it off. Nemesis, find another round.
Yeah, valiant effort to be sure, using the ultimate there. Darkest kind of in a weird spot. I think he had a little bit of confusing audio cues there. We saw him switching his POV back and forth. He's only able to get one, but players from Hyperspace Dark were saving anyway. Now they're forced onto an eco, but Nemesis did a really nice job playing off their utility there. It was Wavy who caught just a little bit of Titty's arm, it looked like, in mid, and was poised to get a kill early with the op, but the Trailblazer forced him to take the shot on the Trailblazer, not the player that swung. They were able to get mid off of that. Really nice job to take early mid control from Nemesis.
Well, Cosmic Divide is online for Potato, but we might not be seeing too much of that this round, but keep your eye on Wavy here as the Blade Storm has been activated, and you might be looking to make an aggressive play here. And I think Nemesis kind of catching wind of that because they don't want to give too much space as they just kind of start making their way back towards A, possibly into the loving arms of Sadie.
You watch divided.
Cosmic Divide has been activated, and I think that's just going to telegraph to Sadie that it's time to get out of dodge. He's going to use the Guiding Light to try and get a little information, maybe try to get out, but he's going to stay in and be punished by Bape as he finds 2 on the site. That should be Spike going down, now a 3v5, and Hyperspace Dark is going to have to do a lot here if they want to be able to pull something off. A shorty in the hands of Ginny. It's not looking too good for them here.
Yeah, they don't have the firepower for it, and really nice entry there by Bape. Satcheling onto a uncommon position, able to get 2 kills on the entry off the back of the Cosmic Divide. Really nice job.
Teleport's ready.
Bape, I think just ready for this push from screens. He's holding a very aggressive angle here, and he is going to catch Ty as Darkus finds ones of his own. And Bape's just going to go in for the kill, but Mick he has something else to say about that as he gets the headshot onto Bape, but Miniature will shut him down, and Nemesis find their 3rd round on the attacking side.
Yeah, and as we noted coming into this one, the pressure was on Nemesis to get a good start here at Disco. This map is defensive side, and to be up 3-2, they got to be feeling pretty decent so far that they haven't just fallen into a really difficult deficit. I have a couple ultimates on the board too in the Seekers, as well as the Raze ult as well to try to take some space. Poised to potentially win another gun round and force Hyperspace Dark onto another eco, and if they can, they're going to continue to grow this lead on attack.
Shaq, I like the conditioning here, but unfortunately is actually going to be called out by Darkus. Showstopper has been popped by Bape, and he's not going to let that slow bother him as he satchels out. Showstopper in hands. He's going to be able to find Ginny. He will, but not before getting traded out himself. But that's going to be just enough to get the rest of his team onto the site. Darkus is going to be able to shut down a Wavy, and that should be enough for them to get the spike down.
Last player standing.
Snakebite coming out to try and push Sadie off the angle, but he will punish Darkus for it, but not before Potato closes it out for them. And Nemesis continuing what is going to be most likely another dominant couple of rounds for them on this attacking side.
Yeah, and really unfortunate timing on that shrouded step from Mick. He goes into that close corner after faking the teleport that we saw earlier in the map, but because the Seekers are sent, he gets immediately caught out as well as flashed, and he has no chance. They get an easy first blood going into the B site, and even though Bape does get taken out, still able to take out Ginny on the entry, and another clean round, and we're seeing it again now. Hyperspace Dark on another eco. They need to make something happen either here or in their next buy round before things start to get really dire.
Nemesis is just going in absolutely fearless. They know that there's not much that they can do to be contested here on this site. Darkus is going to be able to find that kill onto Ty, and that's going to shut him down completely. Miniature with the ESP is already prepared for Wavy push, but are they going to expect another one? That's the real question, and Miniature just seems to have all of the answers, but Ginny is going to be able to shut him down anyway. He also seems to know that something else is going on here, but Darkus is going to shut that down as well. All down to Sadie and McShack here in this 2v4, and Bape going to put him to bed, and Darkus closing it out with a 3K, and I think if you're Hyperspace Dark, you got to start trying to change something up here a little bit if you want to start taking these rounds.
Yeah, and so far we haven't seen too much aggression out of the defenders in Hyperspace Dark. They're trying to maintain control of sites and of mid, but we haven't seen a whole lot of utility used in taking space early in those areas. They might want to start thinking about investing some of that stuff. Luckily, going into this round, they do have 2 ultimates on the board. They have Seekers of their own in the hands of Sadie, as well as the Rez in the hands of their Sage 2. So this should get a little bit more competitive here, but Nemesis has 2 ults of their own. The Viper's Pit already on board for the second time.
Hyperspace trying to adapt a little bit to some of these site hits. Wavy will be able to find that first kill onto Miniature, but if you can see, mid has already been taken control of by Nemesis. I mean, this is a very important push for them because now they can really go almost wherever they want. A lot of the mid information has now been denied by them, and I think that's just going to leave Hyperspace guessing, and it's going to force a lot of utility out of them to try and get as much information as they can.
Yep, Sadie poised to take a fight in heaven. Nice job by Ty there. Able to get one. Bape responds, taking out Sadie. A little bit of heaven control. Does he know that Ginny is right there on rafters? A little bit of an unexpected position, potentially.
Ginny could be set here to get serious damage in, but the guiding light and the nebulous smoke is actually going to push him off the angle, and now he will be punished by Bape. And it seemed like he had the answer there, but of course Nemesis always trying to shut him down, but McShack has something else to say about it. He'll find 2 and Wavy to close it out, and Hyperspace find their first round in quite some time.
Yeah, really key kills there from McShack at the end. Really nice change of pace here for Hyperspace Dark. They were able to respond to the aggression, not with aggression of their own, but just smart repositioning. And even though Ginny dies on Rafter, still able to make sure that his teammate McShack is able to get to, and they're able to hold the site. Finally, a round on the board for them with rifles. And luckily for Nemesis, because of their lead that they've built up, they're going to be able to buy here and into the next round, potentially one after that, so no economic concerns yet.
McShack just trying to go for another fake TP, just trying to play this conditioning play one more time. Is going to throw out a paranoia to try and slow things down a little bit, and it will do its job there. Slow orb preventing the push, and it's going to allow some of the rotations as the Seekers have been popped from the side of Hyperspace Dark as well. And just going to keep Nemesis on the back foot a little bit, and I think that's important for Hyperspace to try to stay in control of the pace of these rounds a little bit, Rome.
Yeah, and you see that their chamber completely abandoned a site off the back of the... Looks like must be some trips set up there. I'm pretty confident that nothing is happening over in that site. Heavy lean towards B. It seems like they have a good read on Nemesis here. They know Miniature has his ult out based off the audio cue. They got to be weary of that sniper rifle that gives the slow effect on kills as well. Could be really dangerous.
Really like these passive angles that Hyperspace are holding. I think definitely just trying to keep the idea of punishing this aggression from Nemesis. Nice little kill from Jenny through the smoke there. It's definitely an important kill. Taking out their Viper is going to prevent a lot of these
30 seconds left.
very aggressive plays. Tour de force in the hands of Miniature, though. Could change the round for them as he finds that first kill onto Ginny, but are they expecting McShack here? You won't be cleared immediately, but Potato will be able to punish that whiff as Miniature finds one more off that ultimate. Potato just doing one of himself, and now it's all down to Sadie with a judge in his hands. Not much you can do in this situation. Very tough 1v4 to try and retake it, and I think your best option here is to just try to find some exits off of this spike plant.
Yeah, it's Sadie trying to dodge the Sky Flashes, not giving any information away. Try to use Judge as best he can in heaven, but not able to do it. Nice response there from Nemesis. Despite losing a player early there at Disco, they're still able to get a successful entry with some good angle clearing, nice fundamentals, and good team play. They're clearing angles a lot together, which is forcing players like McShack, who's been anchoring B site, to have to choose a player to fight. And it's making things really, really difficult. He's been doing the best that he can, but so far, looks like Nemesis are just the better squad right now.
Yeah, I'd really like to see a little bit more map control coming out from the side of Hyperspace Dark, especially when they know these heavy pushes are coming into one site, and I think that's what's really hurting them for the most part. And here we go, McShack trying again on this conditioned fake teleport. This time he's got Sadie to help him out a little bit. It looks like he's got a guiding light in hand just to try and make this happen, but Nemesis... Look at this, already all the way up mid and just poised to take heaven control here. And Jenny's just going to have to throw down that barrier orb, but not much you can do. Meanwhile, Miniature is just going to be able to find that one kill completely unpunished. And now Hyperspace Dark find themselves down a man once again. Make that 2 men. Hyperspace Dark just doing anything that they can to try and make something happen, but Nemesis just seem to have all the answers here as they find another kill. Now 2v5 in favor of Nemesis. The site should be all but free, and they won't be able to clear Sadie here. Bape just coming out of heaven, and now it's all down to Ginny with a Bucky in hand. Not even a rifle really worth saving, Rome.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And again, you just gotta tip it to Nemesis so far. They've been doing a really good job of, as they're putting pressure onto mid and taking control with 3 players, they have 1 player on each extremity, making sure that they're not getting pushed. What that allows them to do is to be confident that they don't need to worry about their flanks through sewers or, through market or anything like that. They have complete map control, and also their players are finding success in punishing the aggression on the extremities from Hyperspace Dark. We saw it on the A site from Miniature in this round, and it's going to be really hard for Hyperspace Dark if they're not fighting for mid control and they're not finding any success in fighting for the extremities to get any sort of rounds in the rest of this half. I mean, and this lead is already getting away from them, Disco. To be down 7-3 on your defensive half on split, especially in a best of 1-2, they've got to be feeling the pressure here.
Oh, absolutely, and that's going to actually cue the timeout coming in from the side of Hyperspace Dark and try and figure it out a little bit. And, you know, I couldn't agree with you more, honestly. These, their lack of contest on some of these very key areas of the map is definitely hurting them, and you can see it whenever Nemesis is trying to push into a site. I mean, they almost know exactly when they can go in for free, and because of all of the utility that they have and how well they're using it, they have info on almost every single player, and they're positioning, you know, 30 seconds into the round. I mean, they're completely dominating not just this half, but pretty much everywhere on the map. I mean, you have Miniature on the lurk every round, and he's getting value out of it every single round, at least getting one kill, and he's able to get out completely untouched. And then it causes these broken rotates to come through from the side of Hyperspace because they don't want to be down a man on any of these sites. And Nemesis is just continuing to completely pick them apart every single round.
Yeah, and, you know, we haven't seen a whole lot of value from the utility out of Mixshack either. The Omen pick, not super popular nowadays. And, yes, Mixshack's been doing what he can on the B site, but so far not really seeing the justification for choosing the Omen over the Viper. They could be putting Viper walls into mid to try to limit the vision and more aggressively fight, but it does look like Mixshack is swinging over into mid to potentially contest, as it looks like they switched up their position a little bit here.
Okay, Wavy just trying to take a little bit of aggressive Angel, and Bape is going to be taken out with the Showstopper activated. That's going to be a very high value kill coming out from Wavy. Very important. He will be able to retreat back into the Nebulous smoke and ropes. And again, Nemesis just going to start slowing down the pace a little bit, as they usually do when they lose one player. But look at their positioning here, Rome. Again, they're everywhere. The map presence is omnipotent at this point. Wavy still just struggling to find a little bit of value here, as the rest of Nemesis just try to take their time, wait for a little bit more mistakes to happen. But Wavy, he's got something to say about that as he takes out one more kill on the Tidy. Ginny able to find one in response, finally able to shut down that lurk from Miniature. And now Hyperspace find themselves in a very favorable position. 5v2 here, Darkest and Potato. Gonna have to see a lot of heroics coming out of them, and a beautiful timing coming out from Ty is gonna be able to find Darkest, and he's gonna finish it off by getting that kill on the Potato. Hyperspace Dark just keeping their head above water for one more round.
And I love that play there from Ty at the end of the round. Knows that as soon as the poison orb goes up, they're trying to clear out the other angles and not need to worry about backside, so he pushes through and he's able to get two. But credit to Hyperspace Dark and their mid presence early in the round. You mentioned that Nemesis, they still had players all over the map. The difference this time was that Hyperspace Dark had two players in mid, including the operator, and they were able to get the first kill onto Bape, who is coming in. He got no value out of the Showstopper, and they maintained mid control with Wavy holding the op. He's in the same position this time. Nemesis should be wise for it. You see no aggression into mid. They're going on to B side quickly.
Tour de Force has been activated by Ty, and he's going to try to slow things down a little bit, but it can't be stopped as Nemesis just start to flood into the site. Bape finding one onto Mixshack before the Paranoia can even come off. Wavy trying to get in there with the Blade Storm, but Titties has something to say about that. Ty able to shut him down on that trade. Now a 3v4 in favor of Nemesis. Sadie able to shut down that mid lurk. Resurrection coming through on Mixshack to even up the man advantage just a little bit. Now Nemesis is going to be on the back foot. Paranoia coming out to allow him to enter into this Viper's pit. Slorb is going to slow him down, and Bape will be able to find one. Ginny trading him out now at 3. Darkest will get shut down. Sadie tries to pull some heroics off, but Potato's heroics are much stronger. And now Ty, Tour de Force in hand, is trying to get this kill, but Potato shuts him down. A very close round for Nemesis as they take the 8th round in their attacking half. And that's going to be a tough ask for Hyperspace Dark.
Yeah, a little too late. You saw the same adjustment they had in mid the previous round. They employed in this one again. But Nemesis kind of figured out that they were probably just going to do the same thing. Popped on a B site really quickly and put down their Viper's pit. I want to give a little credit to Sadie there with a smart play that almost got Hyperspace Dark the round. Was wise that a player in Darkest could have pushed into CT. He cleared it, was able to take him out and put his team in a position to be able to take the round. Unfortunately, they're not able to convert. And now on their attacking half, they're in a 4-8 deficit, Disco, and they're going to need to show some of the same things that Nemesis did on attack themselves, which is going to be a tall order.
Yeah, not to be the John Madden of Valorant here, but they are going to have to win this pistol round if they want to have any shot at bringing this back. And not having that raise pick could hurt them in the end, so we'll have to see how Wavy handles his aggressive role here. Frenzy in hand. 1 Cloudburst, 1 updraft to boot. You can already see Bape just staged with that paint shell in hand, as well as a Trailblazer. This is going to be a deadly combination of utility. He's not going to be able to find the concussion on the Wavy, but that could have been disastrous for them. Now Wavy has to try to re-aggress this to get this frag. Guiding Light coming out is going to slow it down just a little bit, but Wavy still able to find that 1 pick. He is down to 28 HP now, so... Oh, luckily going to get a little bit of a heal from his partners there, and that's going to be very important in allowing them to continue to find this opening aggression here. Bape able to shut down 1 or more, but Wavy and McShack have something else to say about that. Suddenly, the tides have turned, and it's a 4v2 in favor of Hyperspace Dark, but Miniature down low already. This is anybody's round. And just as I say it, Caster Cursed to Tide was able to find 1. Wavy closed it out, and Hyperspace... they take that pistol round.
Yeah, and shades of Nemesis on attack there, Disco. Hyperspace Dark do a really good job of doing exactly what Nemesis did to find success on attack. They send 3 players into mid, and they have a player on each extremity watching the pushes. They're able to fight slowly for heavy control, and they're able to push the players out with some really good utility. And even when they initially got pushed back out of male and back into mid, they immediately sent more utility back in to retake it. That persistence ended up paying off for them, and they were able to take the round. And like you mentioned, I mean, that round was crucial. Nemesis forced to save on this one. Try to make sure they can buy next round. Potato playing a cheeky angle, trying to use the the shorty to his advantage.
I do like this play from Nemesis, just trying to do a little bit of a gamble here. The shorty crossfire, and really there's a lot of free real estate for Hyperspace, and it's just, I think the time that they're spending not taking this map control is going to be hurting them in the long run, because now we can already see rotations starting to come through and a lot of utility spent from Hyperspace just to try and find some of this information. And now it's allowed the rest of Nemesis to kind of spread out a little bit. So we'll have to see how this pans out. But it looks like the spike is already kind of starting to make its rotation, coming in for the B hit.
Yeah, and Darkus has all those audio cues. And yep, he should be letting Miniature know that they're probably swinging over to B site. Oh, and he unfortunately gets caught out. Might have had a chance to take out McShack. Darkus trying to get some juice going on the players on B site. Not able to do it, though. Bait behind him. Going to try to support.
Paint Shell's coming out to try to do a little bit of damage here, but it's not going to be enough to slow them down. Still, 3v4. Couple of classics and a shorty in hand. I think all Hyperspace Dark has to do here is just play this disciplined. They don't need to give up too much to Nemesis, and they need to get out of here with as many guns as possible. And it looks like that's kind of the strategy that they're looking for here. They're just waiting for Nemesis to expose themselves, try to take these long-range battles. Wavy finds one onto Bape, and this round looks all but finished for them as they just try to get the extremities finished off. But Titty is actually able to find one onto McShack there before getting out with just a little bit of HP to his name, and might actually cause Sadie here to fall to the spike. Yeah, wow. A very high-value round coming out of Nemesis with only 2 players from Hyperspace Dark making it out with their guns.
I mean, we're seeing the same thing we saw at the beginning of the first half. A good pistol to start for Hyperspace Dark, and then a second round win on the anti-eco, but at great cost. This time, though, they did buy a hero rifle in that second round, and they're able to carry that over. So a Phantom and a Spectre carried over, while their teammates on Hyperspace Dark for the bonus are going to be buying up Sheriff's. Ty not going to be doing that. Going to look to use his gun as he sets up to watch for some aggression on B site.
Hyperspace coming in, trying to get as much value out of this bonus round as possible. If they can't win it, they need to do as much economical damage, take away as many guns as possible. But Nemesis seems to be aware of this, and they're just playing very passive angles here as they let Wavy and Sadie just make their way. up heaven here. Guiding Light in the hands of Titty is not going to be popped just yet. I gotta say, Titty and Bape, this duo, their utility combos have just been completely destructive throughout this map.
Yeah, very true. And they're holding strong in B heaven. Players from Hyperspace Dark are working over towards ramp. We'll see if Miniature is able to catch Ty. Has the sound cue. Not going to swing though.
Guiding Light coming out, trying to push Potato off of the angle here, but he's not going to be able to do much damage as the rest of Hyperspace Dark just try to make their way into what seems like a free site. They should know that Potato is here, and the rest of the rotation's coming through from Nemesis, and now we should be looking at a 5v5 retake scenario. Barrier Orb down on screens should slow that down. Potato able to find one here. Sadie needs to try to get some value out of this Sheriff, but he can't do it as Potato shuts him down, getting a second kill in this. Oh, Ty.
Flank too. Checks heaven. He's going to find Miniature. Oh, no. Not able to hit the shots. He had a really nice flank going there, but unfortunately his teammates fell really quickly as he was trying to work his way through. He was so deep, poised to potentially help his teammates out, but so many of them playing on site got taken out and wasn't able to do much in the end. Gun round goes to Nemesis.
Round too. That's I mean, that's the last thing you wanted to see from Nemesis in that round. If you're Hyperspace Dark, you have to take at least two guns away from Nemesis.
And that really turns this round into a crucial swing round from the economy standpoint. We saw this happen for around 4 rounds in a row on the first half, where Hyperspace Dark was not able to win their gun round and then forced onto an eco, and then it repeated and repeated. And they need to find some way to have some success here. Just get this first gun round win of the half.
Boombot coming out. Get a little bit of information here, but it will get quickly shut down as Wavy just continues to try his heaven aggression. Guiding Light will be able to force Sadie off the angle just a little bit. Miniature able to find one just before getting out with his trademark. Sorry, Rendezvous. Wavy just going to try to re-aggress this. A beautiful paranoia coming out to actually push Bape off the angle. Now Titty will be punished as Wavy finds 2. In B heaven here, Barrier Orb coming down is going to shut that down, and now it's all down to Miniature solo on this site in a 1v3 anchor. He's able to find one. He's going to get out with that Rendezvous once again. Very high value kill, not being punished off of that, and now we're looking at a 3v3 retake here. Hyperspace just trying to hold the site down, but Miniature coming in. He's got 4 on the board. He's going to try to go for the ace, and he takes the ace, shutting everybody down. Nemesis take their 10th round on the board.
Oh my god. I mean, coming into this one, we talked about Miniature normally playing Cypher on split. We wanted to see how his chamber would look. Well, I think it's safe to say it looks pretty damn good, Disco. I mean, this guy is just on fire. The ability to get a kill and use the Rendezvous to get out, we're seeing the full effect of that right here. And he's not just doing it with his ultimate. He's not just doing it with an operator in his hand. He's doing it while rifling. I mean, the impact is huge. And now, like we mentioned, Hyperspace Dark are forced onto an eco, about to go down 11-6 if this round holds true to the firepower advantage for Nemesis.
Well, Bladestorm is online for Wavy. We'll have to see what he's able to do, but no value coming out right off the top. Miniature. He just shows exactly what you can do with this chamber. How that agent is designed, I mean, it's completely unstoppable. It's so hard to punish, and now Hyperspace Dark, I mean, what can they do? Miniature is just going to find another one. The man is completely unstoppable. He's going to get 3 on the board before Sadie finally shuts him down, but the damage is done. 2v4 here, and really not much that they can do. The spike is down, and Darkus is just going to shut him down, and, well, it's really just a matter of time now before Shack just falls to the hands of Titty, and Nemesis looking as dominant as ever, and Hyperspace Dark, no answers.
I mean, what can you do? Miniature has such a good read on all this. He knows Ty's in that elevated position. Just seems to have a read on everything going on right now. And Hyperspace Dark, rifles back in hands. They're going to need to come up with something really good here. Luckily, they do have Sadie's Seekers to work off of. Nick Shack could potentially use his ultimate as well to gather some info or to get a quick rotate. We'll stack a little bit of a lean towards B site to start the round. See how it plays out.
I mean, this is going to be it for Hyperspace, right? I mean, if they don't win this round, they're forced back onto an eco, and it's match point. So we'll see how they try to answer this. A very oppressive Viper's wall coming out from the side of Nemesis. Just try and help them contest mid. Snakebite already coming out to push him off the angle, and now Darkus is just going to go out there. He's going to try to pop the Viper's pit, but Ginny is going to be able to shut him down. Potato will be able to get a trade out, but damage has been done. Seeker's now popped from the side of Nemesis as well, as Wavy just tries to hold this angle here and get as much value as possible. Guiding Light's going to push him off the angle, and it looks like all of the heroics are coming down right here to this mid battle. Titty going to be pushed off the angle a little bit here as Wavy just tries to come in for the refrag, but Titty's going to shut him down with a headshot.
Blinded.
Now Hyperspace Dark down in the man advantage. 3v4. All pushed up here in mid, and they're going to have to try to reevaluate where they want to go. Paranoia coming out to clear out the bottom of vent here, but Trademark is going to expose their position there, at least for the moment. But again, we see the discipline coming out from Nemesis. No over-rotations. Potato just waiting patiently for this, but McShack is waiting patiently in return. He knows that somebody is there. He's going to have to try to find a good timing here as they give up the angle almost completely, and now Potato can go unpunished and find 3!